Honor it. Do not fear it.
Animation has proven to be an excellent vehicle for Star Wars to explore its universe, as well as those previously much maligned prequel years, and Tales of the Jedi is another strong entry into that legacy. Is it absolutely essential Star Wars viewing? Not really, no. But it is a well-done and superbly animated take on two important characters, Ahsoka Tano and Count Dooku.
Stand down.
Tales of the Jedi's bite-sized entries, all of which range between 15 and 20 minutes, split their focus between Ahsoka and Dooku evenly. Interestingly, if you're watching them in the order in which Disney Plus lists them, it starts with Ahsoka as a baby, then shifts to 3 episodes about Dooku, then moves back to Ahsoka. They're all anthology-style standalones taking place at various pivotal moments in each character's life, and though there isn't a straightforward through line among the stories told, you can make some parallels between the two central characters if you dig deeper. There's a not-so-subtle feeling that that's the point, especially when it comes to Dooku's concerns about the Jedi Order, something we know Ahsoka eventually leaves. For the most part, Tales of the Jedi creator and general Star Wars animation mastermind Dave Filoni doesn't rely on spectacle. That's not to say there isn't action. Practice makes perfect, which focuses on Ahsoka's Padawan training, is heavier on it than others, and there's an exciting climax in the final episode, Resolve. But for the most part, this is Star Wars leaning into its moody and meditative side, which makes the fights hit harder, especially in the Dooku episodes. The episode The Sith Lord is the best example of this, building up to a great bit of understated but impactful action.
Master, stop!
The whole endeavor is tightly written without feeling at all rushed, despite the short runtimes. Filoni knows, at this point, how to indulge in atmosphere and build tension without padding runtimes to unnecessary lengths. In particular, Dooku's episodes provide some intriguing insight into how he became the Sith Lord that we know today, but they don't veer too far into unrealistic sympathy for the guy. As far as Ahsoka goes, the first episode, Life and Death, gives us some background about her home planet and her early showings of Jedi ways, but otherwise they're mostly more time spent with the Togruta that we know and love at different points in her life.
Jedi. Ahsoka is Jedi.
But hey, that's never a bad thing, and if you're eagerly awaiting her live-action Disney Plus series, it's a good way to whet your appetite. To that end, Ashley Eckstein makes a welcome return to reprise her Clone Wars role, and Corey Burton, who previously voiced Cad Bane in the Clone Wars, does some solid menacing voice work as Dooku.
I want to bring peace and order to the galaxy.
But the real star is the animation. It's the best a non-live action Star Wars story has ever looked, particularly in the lush, colorful landscapes in both Life and Death and Resolve, which are almost distractingly beautiful. It's all incredibly polished, feeling just a tad stepped up from the animation of the Clone Wars. And while the stories are just quick little morsels, they don't feel like they're for newcomers. Tales of the Jedi is definitely made for those who've already been won over by Star Wars' animated stories, but that's not necessarily a point against it. Fan service isn't, in and of itself, a bad thing, especially when it's this well done. Plus, if you haven't already watched the Clone Wars, you should probably get on that. Tales of the Jedi is a strong, tightly written showcase for two important characters in Star Wars lore, Count Dooku and Ahsoka Tano. Dooku in particular gets a good amount of meat added to his character's bones, while the other episodes feature a welcome look into Ahsoka at different points in her life. It's moody and methodical at times, while still managing to weave in some beautifully animated action. It may not be absolutely vital Star Wars content, but there are certainly worse ways to revisit these characters before Ahsoka gets her own series.
The best way I can protect you is to teach you how to protect yourself.
For more TV reviews, check out what we thought of the first 4 episodes of Andor. And for everything else, stick with IGN.
It is the only way you will truly have victory, my Padawan.